Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to the non-stop cartwheel of catastrophes. That is, Rise of the Golden Idol. Today it looks like we're getting into something easily as violent as anything that's come before. Let's dive in here to blockbuster release, an immersive experience at the drive-in. It looked like a limousine, maybe, was on fire. Yep, that's a pretty long car. I guess all these cars they're just drawn long. Cars used to be longer. There was a time. So what is going on over here, friend? It wasn't my fault. Someone pulled it off from behind while I was trying to figure out what had been thrown in my back seat. And you have what is presumably a ticket for the drive-in. I told you it was irresponsible, but no one listens to old Beck Mason. Is Beck Mason this woman's name, or is it could be the name of the character she's dressed as, right? Because she seems to be cosplaying. The two of them seem to be cosplaying, but for right now, let's fill in Beck Mason. Okay, what else do we got? A wiring panel that has been inspected by A. Lemons several times with a broken lock. Looks like it was cut, probably. And a green wire. So screen, projector, the lights. What would NEP be? And I don't know what MO is either. Presumably one of them is the sound system, right? Here we have a flaming car with some kind of device here. Do not remove the upper lid unless the fire switch is set to off. Okay. Interesting. Oh, what the hell? It was just a dumb bet. You didn't have to go that far. Okay, so notice the ticket stubs that they all have lot numbers on them, and we can see lot numbers on the ground here. Well, I didn't know that would happen. Who the hell wears something that dangerous? Besides, you said we wouldn't see it, but now we have. I win. Miss Chen, hope the costume fits and it got to you on time. So jealous you and Mr. Lendl get to see it at the Neptune. I'll have to stick to a boring, normal cinema. P.S. I'm with Mr. Lendl on this one. No way Bert's going out like that. Okay, well... shouldn't have put that there necessarily. But this fellow is Mr. Lendl. You are Miss Chen. And I'm still saying Beck Mason might be the name of the character that she and the other woman are both cosplaying. It's weird that they require me to actually click on the ticket stub when it doesn't have anything to say on it. All right. The dispute discovered between Mike and Jenny. Tonight we will see... Winner? Not Mike, it was Jenny. That doesn't count. You still lose. This is really weird. Like, what happened to this piece of paper? So, they had a bet, right? These are Mike and Jenny, we are led to believe. So, the bet between Mike and Jenny. Tonight we will see somebody lose or break his helmet. Yeah, you didn't have to go that far. So it feels to me like lose his helmet, maybe. We don't know the name yet. Okay, another person dressed as the same guy. It's Champ, actually. I'm starting to get regret getting involved. You barely even covered the cost of my transom costume. Okay, man's got some money and stuff for 33. Move it, Chip! Fire was not part of tonight's plan. You have to click on this even though there's no information there. And a duffel bag containing a note detailing a plan. Well, now that seems interesting. The plan: disguise my identity, get in and out of the drive-in, get the staff out of the way with a distraction. They may search people's bags, so I'll hide my spoils in plain sight. Interesting. There are a lot of words left, so I guess it's not really necessary for us to fill stuff in yet. Get in and out of the drive-in feels a lot like it's supposed to bring enough money, though, right? Okay. So, once again, it's hard to know if Champ Transom's got to be the name of the character, right? There's no way this dude is named Champ. I'm going to put the name there, but I'm pretty sure it's the character, not the man. Mr. Vincent. Okay. This guy could be Mr. Vincent's driver, or he could be Mr. Vincent. The person in the alien suit looks like it's a child, maybe, from the stature. Oh my god, Laura, we can't get out. What do we do if that car explodes? I hope we survive for an actual screening. I heard a Transom and a Marini arguing over what would happen to Bertrand in this one, and now I really want to see it. Okay. So your name is Beth. Laura. Your name is Laura. We're getting bits. We're getting knowledge kernels here. Did I miss something important? Oh, the back seat. A can of blue paint. Its label reads, "Caution, highly flammable." And we got some wire cutters. Okay. What's going on in here? The Neptune difference. We give our guests an escape from their mundane lives with our unique true 3D technology. Enter a world of movie magic thanks to our one-of-a-kind Neptune crystal. That's a little concerning. I can't help but notice that that crystal's in the blue state. This is not a good use for this thing. New projector troubleshooting guidelines. Check power supply. Confirm all internal parts are correctly mounted. If image is too small, check lens. If image is not showing, check light. If image is distorted, check crystal. Pro Screen recommends against stopping projector once film has started. Okay. So obviously, without knowing exactly what the film is supposed to look like, I'm assuming this is a check crystal problem, image distorted. And again, it may be that it's in the blue state instead of the red state, which means that it was discharged, right? Oh, Miss Cunningham's gonna fire me if I can't get this fixed. That's how we get the word fire? Alright, a hammer, a screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters, a cut piece of wire, and then some green wire, a spool of green wire. So obviously that's interesting given that there is only a single green wire over here. Alright, what about the rest of the scene? This image sure is distorted. They specifically used the word distorted to make sure you can't miss what's going on. This man is dazed and bleeding heavily. He's got a collectible figurine with him. Sure. Side of the car has been crumpled in the crash. No one leaves. Well, isn't that interesting? Banned for life. Augie Tameen. And 2 pictures of what might be the same car, front and back. Office, me, maintenance, Andy, projection booth, sick, Andy to swap in. Okay. So the projectionist is probably our Andy. There he is. Costume competition. First place, free tickets for a month. Doug Baxter for his dangerously authentic Bertrand. Definitely better than Parker's. Okay. That's interesting. So, dangerously authentic Doug Baxter. And I guess that means you're Parker, Laura Parker. Second place, a popcorn bonanza. It goes to Annie Kishimoto. The costume really hooked me. Annie Kishimoto? It's a pirate. I'm assuming there's a hook involved. I didn't actually see one, but that might be because I wasn't paying enough attention. It does happen. Third place, a Marini figurine. Goes to Tom Powers with the super scary sharp teeth. So, here's our Tom Powers. Thought I saw a better version of this character, but he didn't show up to the competition. Interesting. So, Marini is the name of the character. Let's just pull this out to the side to denote that it is not a person name, it is a character name. Alright. That's interesting. It's good information. Miss Cunningham, you are right. That weird lady called again. She can't seem to get it through her head that she can't just buy anything she wants. She sent her goon to make an offer in person, but I saw him to the exit just like you said. I told him never to come back and that no amount of money could buy what makes this place so special, but he didn't seem to listen. So they're talking about the crystal here, right? Sarah? Who stole what? Are you there? On a rotary phone. So this is Sarah, right? She's wearing the outfit. This is the same outfit that the projectionist is wearing. Yeah. All right, so this will be our Sarah. Here. Why is it so important to her that nobody leaves? The new summer blockbuster flies into theaters May 1st. Porbo joins the fight against the evil captain in Space Storm. Okay. I love their sort of like standee mascot thing here. All right, so not really getting a lot of detail here about Augie. This isn't Augie. Oh, okay. We're only given one name for each of the people. That's interesting. So then this is Transom, and Champ actually is that guy's name. That's fucked. I'm gonna guess this is a Porbo. Either one of these could be, but this feels Porbo to me. Okay, so this isn't necessarily saying that Augie is the person who drives this car, right? But if we say that that is what it's trying to express, well, the car in the picture has an unusually like straight up and down, or close to straight up and down, back part here. It's got this sort of like pea soup coloration with the two front axles, 3 yellow lights, 1 rear axle. Car doesn't appear to be here. Yeah. Okay, so with the information we have here, let's try to figure this out a little bit more. No one listens to old Beck Mason, so you are Beck Mason. Miss Cunningham's gonna fire me if I can't get this fixed. Is Sarah Miss Cunningham? We don't know who this note is from. It might be Sarah Cunningham. So this guy's trying to bail, presumably because of the explosion, not because he stole something and is trying to get away with it, right? If we take the license plate here to be a vanity license plate put on by a, just like an insufferable dude. Maybe this guy's name is Champ Vincent. That's a fucked up name, though. It's a very strong name. Alright, it was just a dumb bet. You didn't have to go this far. Tonight we will see... Do we have a name for that guy? Doug Baxter? Tonight we will see Doug lose his head. Lose his head. Oh, okay. But would it be Doug, like, because if this is the name of a person, it's ambiguous which half of their name you would use, right? Because all the people are named two names. So maybe it's the name of the character, because that is an unambiguous one-word name. I think that's a reasonable guess, maybe. Actually got a lot of names figured out already. Yes, and he did have a hook. That's just your 25 ticket. Arguing over what would happen to Bertrand in this one, right? Bertrand is the name of the other character. Yeah, Bertrand is so much more robot than Porbo. So tonight we will see Bertrand lose his head. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Someone pulled it off from behind while I was trying to figure out what had been thrown in my back seat. So somebody threw a can of paint. I was trying to say a pan of paint into the back seat while named Jenny Chen pulled this off of his head. Not remove the upper lid unless the fire switch is set to off. Yeah, he made his Bertrand helmet out of some kind of pre-existing electronic thing, and something happened. It's very weird. We don't know who Lemons is. Oh, well, hey, Andy Lemons. He seems to be kind of in charge of all the technical stuff. He has the toolbox. I mean, it is not necessarily the case that he has the toolbox. The toolbox might just be in here, right? This may be where they keep it. But I don't think it's unfair to guess Andy Lemons there. So the crystal's wrong. They're supposed to have a red crystal, as shown on the diagram. But that could just mean the crystal got used. That wouldn't be a piece of information that people playing this game without playing the first game would have access to, though, which makes me think that it's maybe not the sort of thing they're going for. All right, so let's start filling this out. Someone, owner of the Neptune Theater, Drive-In, Cinema. This is going to be Sarah Cunningham. Had been using a red crystal to enhance the... screen's not quite what we want. Enhance the projector? Enhance the picture is the correct thing, but I guess we'll say projector. Somebody sent a weird lady sent someone to buy it, but he was he was banned from the cinema. Then someone arrived in thing and blank the thing, disguising it as a thing. Well, okay, so we do have this can of blue paint. So this crystal appears to be blue. It's translucent, though. It's not covered with paint, because the light is still going through it. I was going to say, you know, since we have a prominent blue thing here. I guess, we know that the weird lady sent Augie to Mean to buy it, right? This is the guy whose picture is on the wall. Then someone arrived in something and blanked the something, disguising it as a something. I mean, it's got to be stole the crystal. It's the only way that any of this is, like, related to anything else that's going on. Doesn't seem like it's that. Who has a thing that might be the crystal? Okay. Ah, it's one of the teeth. Okay, okay. So, disguising it as a tooth. Yep. So that could be Augie. Arrived in costume. I mean, I think that would be the reasonable assumption, right? So, disguising my identity, need a costume, get in and out, bring enough money, get the staff out of the way with an extraction, pack something. May search people's bags, so I'll hide my spoils in plain sight. Bring paint? Yeah, because this crystal has been painted over. So get the staff out of the way with a distraction. Pack car crash. Bring a pocket full of car crash. Because it's going to get fucked up. And he doesn't have anything in it. He didn't start the fire. The fire was not part of his plan. These are probably his wire cutters, so he was planning to interrupt the show, right? So bring wire cutters for that purpose. Yeah. So you, my friend, are Augie Tameen, and you are Sarah Cunningham. All right. In order to steal a crystal... Oh, no. In order to win a bet. Win a bet. This is Sarah Chen. Sarah Chen? Jenny Chen. So good with names. Pulled the head off Doug Baxter. Doug Baxter's costume. This started a fire. So patrons tried to run, leave, escape. Hearing the commotion, Sarah Cunningham looked out. Where on earth? How did I lose Sarah again so quickly? There. Sarah Cunningham looked out, saw the picture, saw the screen, realized somebody must have taken and stole both being here is a little awkward. must have taken the crystal. She then caused a car crash, while attempting to block the fire exit. Yeah, she wanted to make sure nobody got away with the crystal, and she did not manage to get her car in place in time. That one was there was a lot going on there, but it was fairly straightforward. After being banned from the Neptune cinema, Augie Tamine needed a way in to steal the crystal his employer wanted. Disguised in a costume, he paid a local to drive him in. Augie cut the power to the projection booth as a distraction, swapped the crystal for one of the teeth from his costume to conceal it in case he was searched. However, an unexpected fire caused chaos, disrupting his easy escape. What effect does the crystal have when used in this way? What makes you think you'll succeed when no one else has? Well, unlike those who have tried before, I understand that the idol is more than the sum of its parts. To reassemble it successfully, one first needs a deep understanding of the universe. I see. And how do we know you're not just another fraud, hoping to cash in on the next cheap knockoff? Feel my energy. Be present with it for a moment, and I invite everyone at home to do likewise. You see? Now you know. Okay then, I suppose the listeners at home can make of that what they will. That's interesting. Okay, so... we still don't really have a lot of certainty as to the identity of these people. Like, I would expect the historian would be the weird lady, right? Well, she had the crystal. When was this again? The one thing I'm not doing is I'm not doing a very good job of is keeping the dates straight in my head. But you know what? Let's just finish the fourth bit of this before we go trying to make sense of the corkboard of the story. There are still critical pieces missing. Going once, a shocking murder at the auction house. Those places seem incredibly stressful. I bet people get murdered at these places all the time. Oh, hey, one of those old masks. Gross. This will look stunning in my entryway, and for a steal of a price. Okay, so you have $26,000 on you. Seems like a lot. The museum doesn't need an Albion relic anyway, but perhaps I'll bid on the Adrian lot. Okay. Hey, that's a familiar font. Disgusting mask. I failed to rescue Lot 1, but Lot 4 will return with me to the motherland. $20,000 and a ticket for Lemuria. That's, I guess, just like the Lemurian accent. Alright, this man has a wooden cane. Going once, going twice, sold to the movie star. With his wooden gavel and his ring of keys. Over here we have a bartender. The poor professor just isn't cut out for this. Should have listened to me. Cocktails. Classic martini, $20. Gin and vermouth garnished with an olive. Harley's Ghost, 7 Seas special. Death in the evening. Absinthe and champagne. Remarkably cheap for a drink that contains absinthe. Notes for Robbie Froberg's first day. Serve with a smile. Please refrain from selling any drinks to Mr. Bogart while he's on the job. Okay, so... this would seem to be Robbie Froberg. My guess is this will be Mr. Bogart. It's the guy who works here that somebody might have an interest in keeping sober. Okay, nothing actually to interact with down here, but maybe this zoom in will be useful in some way. Here we have our historian. Get on with it. The next lot's the one that matters. Okay, she's got a bit of money. Outbid again. Robbie was right. Why did I even come? Okay, so Robbie was talking about the professor. That guy is the professor. That doesn't really help right away, I guess. Nope, I'm trying to close things. So many different little... Oh, we have 2 different time periods? We do. Okay. The Seven Seas Auction on August 13, hosted by Nils Wilmington. Opening ceremony, start of auction, cocktails and collections. Sold lots will be retrieved by the property manor at the following times. So, right now it is like almost 8:45. Lot 4. So this is lot 3. I failed to rescue lot 1, but lot 4 will return with me to the motherland. They're about to wheel out lot 4. The next one's the one that matters, yeah. Wait. What did the clock say? 8:45. Is this not 7:45? This is 8:40. Well, like 8:41. Right? Do I know how to read a clock? I think I do. All right, we'll worry about it later. Hold on. I'm not done gathering the whole situation yet. Up above, circuit box, danger with risk of electrocution. I wonder if I can get Mrs. Knightley's autograph. And my man has a ring of very suspicious looking keys. You are Mrs. Knightley. Sorry, Ms. Knightley. Do you not have like a name tag? I guess not. Alright, that thing is sold already. That delight is sold already. That's what's down on the table now. Here's lot number 4, the important one. Looks like a bong. Look, you can even see the little pipe bit in the... I don't know. It looks like a bong to me. Alright. Creature unknown to science. A mask. Here we have a crumpled up ticket. Cups on the ground. Oriel, please calm down. That's seal, that's lot 1. Nobody move. You'll step on my new Lunken centerpiece. Okay. Oh, the lights. The lights went out. Who's touching me? Okay, you have spent $10 on an absinthe and, because that, absinthe, of course, is famously green. The lights are finicky. Nothing to worry about. You gonna buy me another drink, Tessa? To my biggest fan, Erwin. Stay sharp, Summer. Okay. This guy... Oh. The general shape of this dude's head doesn't really match the security guard. Now, it's not the time, Mumati. We all need to leave immediately. How much money do you have? Okay. But what about my statue? Stop pushing me. It's only a power outage. Okay, you have quite a lot of money as well. Dr. Toussaint bought 1 Death and Eve. Mrs. De Silva bought a martini. Ms. Navarre bought 3 of the SSS. Yeah, we'll be able to figure out who's who here by the purchases and the amount of money they have left. I get that. I'm more interested in what's going on up here. So this esoteric totem, lot 5, is still here. The safe is open. It's got a check from Aurelia Winston. And you were the only person who had a checkbook, right? Yeah, everybody else brought money. So, Aurelia Winston. Out of my way. Okay, that ring of keys. It's time for plan B. I'll distract Bogart, you grab his keys. And of course, the critical lot 4. And yeah. So that cane has been used to shove somebody into the electrical box. Lot 1, bought by bidder A4. 2, bought by bidder S3. M5, A4. Okay. And some more different keys. This has given us all of the words. So, lot 1. What was the word they used for it? Icon? Badge? Seal. Lot 1 was a seal. Lot 2 was a creature. Lot 3 was a mask. Lot 4 was the statue. And lot 5 was the totem. Is this the terminology we're using? Yes, statue. This one's a statue and that one's a totem, and those two things are totally different, and you can't convince me otherwise. So you're the one with the checkbook, which means Aurelia Winston. Oh, okay. It's pulling the names out instead of duplicating them. Aurelia Winston bought this. This is where I have to start arranging my windows more carefully. Nobody move, you'll step on my new Lunken centerpiece. This is probably the thing that we're talking about. Well, in the first scene, the thing was sold. So the mask went to the movie star, Ms. Knightley. Yeah, we know that, and we know that it is probably the case that her name is Summer. Okay, what else? What else do we have immediately? At the Seven Seas auction, name was Thing by Name for the whatever from something, and so decided to steal it instead. Yeah, it was outbid. Yep, outbid is one of our blue words. Okay. All right, so we have the general shape of the story here. Let's try to match people to some stuff. I guess, hold on, let me look at the drink orders. So Dr. Toussaint bought one Death in Eve, and De Silva bought a martini. Death in Eve is the thing that was only $10, right? Yeah. Absinthe and champagne. So the professor $3,000, what was $3,100. Could be. No, that was all the money he had, and he didn't win any auctions. Yeah. All right. I've already forgotten his name. Dr. Toussaint. All right, Mrs. De Silva had a martini, which is 20. Okay, you got your checkbook. All right, you're missing 20 and you have the martini. What about my statue? Stop pushing me, it's only a power outage. Okay, so De Silva won the statue. De Silva could be either of these two. So with 19,000 left after the purchasing of the Martini. Yeah, you didn't actually bring that much money. Alright, so that's Mr. Silva. And finally, Ms. Navari bought 3 SSS. Which is... which thing? 7C specials. So she's missing $90. Yeah, 18,000 down 90. Okay. So that is you. De Silva. No, wait. Not De Silva, Navari. Okay. That's the first hint we've had about her name. Okay, so we know what everybody spent on alcohol. Lights are finicky, nothing to worry about. You're going to buy me another drink, Tessa. This is the 3rd cup of that, so Tessa is presumably the first name of Miss Navari. And yeah, I think that is supposed to be the security guard. I'll distract Bogart. You grab his keys. The his here is ambiguous because it could mean Bogart or it could refer to a person they were talking about earlier. And it does, they do seem to have the security guard's keys. So... that being the security guard doesn't really give us any information, though. Sorry, it tells us his name's Irwin. Seems fine. Alright, what other pieces of information are we missing to start putting names together? Oh, well, the check. Aurelia... oh, no, that's right. We got Aurelia Winston filled in. Problem is the other names. Let's look back over these. There's no kind of identification on this at all, which I don't think you can really... it's not really how plane passes work anymore. Yeah, everybody just has their money on them. So maybe I'll bid on the Adrian lot. Don't actually know what that means. All right, so those are the yeah, that guy's keys. Bought by bidder A4. So if we have a look here. S3. So lot 2 was bought by the same bidder. And he's using the letter of their first name to encode this stuff for some reason. So this was also bought by Aurelia Winston. Damn it, I keep doing that. Bidder M5. Well, we only have one name that starts with M. So Mumati De Silva. And then the places of their origin. Obviously, we're being told that this is from Albion, the mask. The Adrian lot, like a thing from Adria, right? That makes sense. Not Adrian as in the name of a person. So you did in fact win the totem. The creature is Lunken, probably. The statue's probably Lemurian, just, given what we know about... given what we know about the things that interact with the crystal. So... do we have any idea... how do we draw a conclusion about the place that this is from? Yeah, so what about my statue? Now is not the time, Mumati. We all need to leave immediately. Okay, so that's got them named correctly. This is all covered. We don't actually know Dr. Toussaint's first name. We don't know Bogart's first name. We don't know the origin of... gosh, can we... wait, what does it say here? Lot 1, okay. I failed to rescue Lot 1, but Lot 4 will return with me. So that's... Lot 1 is Lemurian then. That's why Mumati is even here, is to try to reclaim Lemurian artifacts. Okay, easy. So these last little bits of name then. What haven't we used? Winston. Aurelia, Navari, De Silva are all on there. Toussaint, Mumati, Summer, and Irwin are all on there. Tessa, Oriel, Knightley, Wilmington. Yeah, there's a Nils, who I'm pretty sure is not actually part of the scene. Bogart's used, Froberg's used, Robbie's used. Okay, so we have 4 names left for 3 slots. That's weird. Because Nils Wilmington, I guess one of the people could be related to him. So somebody says, where does Oriel come from? Get on with it. The next slot's the one that matters. Yeah, I don't remember where we saw the name Oriel. Oriel, please calm down. Nobody move. You'll step on my new... So either one of these two could be Oriel, based on the Oriel, please calm down. This is Toussaint. So Oriel Toussaint, perhaps? The other one is... with $19,000 left... The other one is Summer? So that would make you Oriel. How much money was in the safe? Yeah, the 7,000 that she used. Okay. Alright, so that leaves just the Winston, Wilmington, Nils. And unfortunately, Wilmington's probably not a first name. I think Nils is not a last name. But these are not exactly like ironclad as far as putting them in the slots goes. So got all the information we're getting out of that. I'll distract Bogart. You grab his keys. Could that be this guy? I mean, it really seems like this dude's Irwin, right? All right. We have enough information to probably fill this in at this point. Or at least to start to fill it in. So at the Seven Seas auction, somebody was blanked by somebody outbid. By Mumati De Silva. For the statue from Lemuria. And so decided to steal it instead. It's funny that we have 6 blue words and like steal and stealing and stole are all among them. So who is it that's up there? Because we have here you. Pardon me. The professor. And Summer. So you're unaccounted for. But Tessa's the one talking to Mumati, right? So with the $17,000 because she had $18,000 and then she was buying drinks. Yeah. So it's this guy. It's Robbie who's up there killing Bogart. So it's like Bogart discovered Robbie Froberg stealing the idol upstairs, or stealing the statue upstairs, and a fight ensued. So someone distracted Bogart. The note he has says, "I'll distract Bogart, you grab the keys." So it's Robbie Froberg who Robbie Froberg stole their keys. This is Bogart once again. Then Bogart discovered Robbie Froberg stealing the stairs upstairs, and a fight ensued. So Robbie Froberg pushed Bogart into the circuit box with a cane, causing instant death. So the biggest problem here is we don't know who was outbid and we don't know Bogart's first name, but that's the only slots we have left. Okay, so who was talking about the bidding? I mean, probably her, right? The next lot's the one that matters. Yeah. And we know she wanted it from the other case, too. We know that this was something that's very important to her. So, her name is Tessa Navari. Tessa Navarre was outbid. Okay, so Winston, Wilmington, or Nils Bogart. Since it's hosted by Nils Wilmington, this was the only thing that has me thinking his name was Mr. Bogart. But if he's not Mr. Bogart, then who is? What is that note for? Mr. Bogart's the security guard. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. I made this decision that this guy was Mr. Bogart before we knew there was a security guard upstairs. So you're like, I've never been to an auction before. Is it common to say the auction is hosted by the auctioneer? That would not be the way that I would put that. Because you imagine the auction is hosted by whoever's stuff it is, right? Or whoever owns the place. When Christie's puts on an auction, it's hosted by Christie's. And then the auctioneer is some person who works for them. So that's why I didn't immediately jump to this guy being Nils Wilmington. But that does seem to be the case here. So, in the events, it is, in fact, everywhere that we have Bogart, it is actually Nils Wilmington. And Mr. Nils Wilmington once more. 2 or fewer incorrect. That's interesting. Tessa Navarre was outbid by Mumati de Silva. That's right. What can we... The thing is, if there's 2 or fewer incorrect, that means we don't have any of the actors in the story wrong, because all of the actors' names appear multiple times. Notes for Robbie Froberg's first day. Yeah. We have all of the names of the humans right. So it's one of these words that's wrong. Tessa distracted Nils while Robbie stole... Well, Robbie stole the security guard's keys. Right? Robbie has the security guard's keys, actually. So Robbie stole his... What did Robbie steal from him? He still has his keys at the time of his death. Is it the gavel? He doesn't have his gavel anymore. I guess to delay the events, you stall him. That's how you stall. I'll distract Bogart, you grab his keys. No, so that's not you stall. Because, like, the only other thing he had was a gavel. That's definitely wrong. And in fact, that word was correct. So there are 2... That being wrong made it so that there were 3 things wrong. So there are 2 fields wrong. Exactly 2 fields wrong. The lots are marked correctly, so that is the statue. We're calling that the statue. So exactly 2 fields are wrong. I guess Mumati de Silva. Yeah, Mumati de Silva is the only name that appears exactly once. Oh wait, yeah, the clocks, I'm being silly. The auctions did run between 7:15 and 8. It's the auctions were retrieved at these times. Right, so he went up to retrieve... Okay. I don't know. My brain is... I don't know how things go at an auction. I don't know the order of things at an auction. So, Lot 4 will return with me to the motherland. You have a lot of money on you. You bid on the Adrian lot. What about my statue? Says the person who ordered the martini, which we know to be Mumati de Silva. So Mumati de Silva did outbid Tessa Navari. What other word could be the wrong one here? Thing is, Robbie didn't. Oh, because this isn't Nils. Right, Robbie stole. What am I doing? Robbie stole Erwin's keys. It was Erwin Bogart that they distracted. Again, the him there did not refer to. Yeah, it referred to Erwin Bogart. I had in my head that note referred to the auctioneer, and that I didn't fix it in my head when we figured out that I had the names swapped. Oops. Alright, Tessa Navari had hoped to buy the Lemurian statue at auction, but had a backup plan in case the price climbed too high. While ordering drinks at the bar, she slipped her accomplice a note and the pair got to work. However, the accomplice was caught stealing the statue. He electrocuted the witness while protecting himself from the current with a wooden cane. Turns out we won't be needing you after all, Mr. Froberg. Sorry for the short notice. Oh, not to worry. If anything else opens up, you know how to reach me. And please, call me Robbie. Yeah, that guy wasn't actually Robbie Froberg. He was a person who was brought in for that purpose. A person who is obsessed with cutting out these little paper figures. Okay, so we now have access to all of the parts. So this is Arthur Blythe. We're going to have to go back into some of these cases. So you are Tessa Navari. Your colleague is one of these people, huh? I don't like that this guy's Lazarus Hearst's face is still looking at us here. So the person who gave his name as Augie Tamine. He's quite short, whoever he is. So it's not Arthur Blythe. Well, I mean, it wouldn't... Can I... Okay, you can put the same person in multiple places. Honestly, like... Given his stature, are we sure Augie Blythe isn't Tessa? Because it totally could be, right? Let's jump back in here real quick and have a look at that note in the office. Sorry, not this one. This one. Weird lady called again. She sent her goon to make an offer in person, and I saw him to the exit. So unless she showed up convincingly cross-dressed, it's probably not her. And I mean, like, her... the goon that we are familiar with her having is Arthur Blythe. But I don't think the proportions of this dude make sense for Arthur Blythe. Maybe he's just, like, hunched down. Maybe. Is anybody else here It's hard to say. It's really pretty hard to say. So Stephen Aria, who sent the saw blade, is probably Tessa Navari too, right? It's Tessa Navari who is interested in getting Arthur out of prison. And Stephen Aria is an anagram of her name. Yep. Okay. Augie Tameen is another name that could easily be an anagram. It feels like a fake name. All right, so here, let's hold on. We have to fill in her colleague. Your trusty colleague. Swing by on Friday with our new pointy-eared friend. So, it's not clear to me. This was August 17th, 74. This is where the keeping the dates straight is going to be important, right? I do wish it loaded between these a little bit faster. So this is August 13th. Okay. So that means that what happened here is that Arthur Blythe got away with the thing and then was going to come and give it to her. So Augie Tameen's probably one of them. And honestly, it's probably him. Yeah. That's the only thing that really makes sense. It's the only... Why would you involve any extra bodies, right? Okay, so, the story. I need... This is where all my words are from. So, Tessa Navari wanted to reassemble the mystical golden idol of Lazarus Hurst from its parts. It is true that Stephen Aria did this thing, but we may as well correct the name. Tessa Navari arranged Arthur Blythe's prison escape because he knew the locations of the parts. Is that right? Tessa Navari and Arthur Blythe worked together to recover all 8 parts. Steal, bury, hide, buy, reassemble. I guess they ended up stealing the one that we're aware of. I guess Arthur was stealing the parts and providing them to her. Yeah, it was steal. For the final one at the auction, Arthur Blythe resorted to murder. But in the end, Arthur Blythe tried to steal the golden idol from Tessa Navari, which resulted in Arthur Blythe's death, which he should have known was on the table given how often he himself had done it. We're not liking this. Okay. Was it 8 parts? I think it was 8 parts, right? Yeah. Okay. Did he know the locations of the parts? I guess he must have. Maybe he knew the functions? Let me look at their correspondence again. Flowers for inner growth. No, you'll agree for Alfred, as will I. Yeah, none of that stuff's useful. So this may just be because I didn't do them all sort of in one piece, and so I'm forgetting information that we had. But like, she arranged his prison escape because he knew the something of the parts. He knew the something of the something. This has to be parts. Right? He doesn't know the function of the idol. But we don't have any indication that he knew anything from these. He must have known something. He must have known the locations, right? Because that's the only reason that he would have value to her. He's been helping her steal all this stuff. So that feels like that's probably right. I'm not allowed to pull words from here. Okay. Right, these have the hard corners. So I do pretty much need to be out here to do anything useful with this. Okay. So locations of the parts is probably right. Tessa Navari wanted to reassemble the mythical golden idol of Lazarus Hearst from its parts. Arthur Blythe knew the locations of the parts. He didn't know the locations of the owner, singular. Tessa Navari and Arthur Blythe worked together to steal all 8 parts. They weren't necessarily trying to steal them all, but they did end up stealing them all. Oh, well, Arthur Blythe tried to steal the parts, not the idol, not the completed idol. That's all it was. And that's kind of like not actually a difference. I feel like they should have just given that. Because that's what he was doing. He was stealing the idol from her. Just in pieces. Behold, our time has come. What are you weirdos up to? That's very strange, isn't it? Okay, well, somebody is watching from a distance and we have no information about who that is or what they're up to. And you know what? We'll find out next time. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I do think it's weird that the cases are represented by like issues of a publication that's very clearly TV Guide, even though, you know, it's obviously legally distinct from TV Guide. That's a very strange way to couch the things that are happening here. But in any case, come back next time for the next episode, number 3, The Machine. And we'll see you then.